All right, friends, here we go. Second part of chapter 2. Maybe. The next day, all Sebastian's buddies at school could talk about were the cool games they've been playing on G-Force. They talked about them on the bus, during lunch, at recess, and on the ride home. If Sebastian didn't get one soon, he'd be friendless by the semester's end when his pals had figured out he was still stuck with his old system, playing a decade-old version of ping pong. How was he going to get a G-Force and get it fast? You know what Miss Karagosian would say, right? They're not very good friends if that's what they care about. When Sebastian got home, he plunked down on his bed and grabbed a piece of taffy off his nightstand. He contemplated washing dishes for his mother. Ugh, no way. Sebastian! Jason was standing in his doorway, dressed in his full soccer getup. He was holding a box of chocolate bars. Mom's taking me to the grocery store so I can sell these to passing customers. Want to help? Sebastian unwrapped the piece of taffy. Are you going to pay me? He popped it in his mouth. Man, these are good. No, Sebastian. I'm supposed to take money, not give it away. Coach Newberry says if I sell this whole box, I'll have enough for my next tournament. Sebastian grumbled. I bet Dad and Mom love that Jason is earning his way towards soccer success by selling candy. How helpful. Wait a second. Sebastian stared at the candy wrapper in his hand. Jason, you're awesome. Jason brightened. You're going to help? Nope. Sebastian got up and nudged his brother out of the room. Good luck with that. The very next day, Sebastian thought he'd try out his new idea on the school bus. As his friends went on and on about the hottest G-Force game they were playing, Sebastian slowly pulled out a piece of taffy. He unwrapped it and waved a hand over the candy so the scent of taffy goodness filled the air. What's that? His friend Lincoln asked. Oh, nothing. Sebastian put the candy in his mouth. Then he closed his eyes and sighed with satisfaction as he chewed. Hey, man, Maddox said, share. Yeah, added Neil. Sebastian held up a finger as he chewed some more and swallowed. Can't. He pulled the bag of taffy out of his backpack. I've only got this many. Spent my whole allowance on them. But if you got a quarter, I'll give you one. Within seconds, Sebastian had 3 quarters in his hand. That's when Sebastian knew he was on to something. The following Wednesday, Sebastian executed the next step in his plan. Over dinner, when Aunt Martha was busy talking to his mother about the latest in hairpin technology, he snuck a hand. Any sentence that has the word snuck in it means it's not a good idea. Just to give you some warning. If sneaking is part of a plan, it's not a good plan. He snuck a hand in Aunt Martha's purse and rummaged through it. His fingers closed around a tiny notebook. Bingo. Sebastian set up shop in his treehouse the next afternoon. He went over Grandpa Nelson's secret recipe, which was actually quite simple. Butter, sugar, cornstarch, and vanilla. By his rough calculations, he could make at least 1 batch per night, and he could unload them all on the school bus within a couple of days. He'd have a G-Force in just a few weeks if things went well. He got out the Bunsen burner that he had swiped. Good grief, Sebastian. Sneaking and now swiping, which is stealing. He had swiped a Bunsen burner from science lab. So a Bunsen burner, let's see if I can do this here. Hopefully you can see that. Down here in science, sometimes you have to heat things up and you use a Bunsen burner. So Sebastian had stolen it from science. His mother's giant lobster pot, the necessary ingredients, and waxed paper from the kitchen. He went to work. On the bus the next day, Sebastian's candy sold out before he even made it to school. Even the bus driver, Mr. Steve, bought a piece. As Sebastian was about to get off, Mr. Steve stopped him. "What do you call this wonderful candy, son?" "Aunt Martha's, Smash Mouth Taffy." "Sebastian, you're brilliant," he smiled to himself. "Great name. Tomorrow, I'll take a whole bag." A whole bag? That's when Sebastian knew he could not do this alone. At first, Jason was not the most enthusiastic assistant when Sebastian dragged him to the treehouse and asked for his help. "Why should I help you?" he said. "You wouldn't even sell my chocolate bars with me the other day." "I agree, Jason." But after Sebastian told Jason he could keep a dime for every dollar Sebastian made, Jason became the leanest, meanest taffy wrapping machine anyone could find this side of the northern hemisphere. All weekend long, Sebastian and Jason made hundreds of pieces of taffy and stuffed them into baggies they had nabbed from the kitchen. Now, Sebastian could sell his candy in bulk. Bulk means large quantities. Instead of selling 1 or 2 pieces at a time, he could sell them in bulk. No one was the wiser. Sure, Sebastian's parents noticed that Sebastian had been spending an awful lot of time with Jason in the treehouse, but they didn't bother to see what was going on. "Honey," Sebastian's dad said to his mother, "for once, our boy is playing outside with his brother and not obsessing about video games. I'll call that good." When Monday came, Sebastian crammed his backpack full of candy. When he came down for breakfast, his mother handed him some money. "Buy your lunch today, sweetie. We're out of sandwich bags." "Huh. Wonder why they're out of sandwich bags." Bless you. Jason was sitting at the kitchen table. Sebastian and Jason exchanged looks. "I'll pick some up after I get Jason from soccer practice," his mother continued. Sebastian let out a breath. Mom didn't have a clue. That morning, Sebastian sold out of Smash Mouth Taffy before the bus even made it to school again. And this time, he took in a couple bucks for every bag. When Sebastian and Jason counted up the money in the treehouse that afternoon, they realized that Sebastian was already a quarter of the way to getting his G-force, and it wouldn't be long before Jason owned a new pair of soccer cleats. For fun, they lay in the pile of spare change and dirty dollar bills. "Boss," Jason said, "we need to make more money." He grabbed a bunch of quarters and let them trickle to the floor. Lots of it.